And just share the screen. Okay, wow. So, as I remember, we only read the first paragraph, so it's not bad to read it again. So let's read this reading and ask a few questions related to the text. So, no hiding place for the irresponsible business. So first of all, you know that this prefix IR or irresponsible make responsible negative. That means not responsible. Okay, so let's read. The food industry is blamed for obesity. Mobile phones operators are challenged to protect teenagers from online pornography. Record companies are attacked when they sue music lovers for sharing illegal files on the internet. Big business is being asked to explain its approach to a growing number of social, ethical, and environmental concerns. We're facing the greatest demand for our assistance that we've seen in our 9-year history, says Bob Dunn, Chief Executive of Business for Social Responsibility, BSR, a U.S. nonprofit advisory organization whose annual membership includes many top multinationals. Okay, first of all, let's talk the words that we can see here. So as I told you, the first word that you can see here is obesity. Obesity means, as I told you, the state of being fat. So, and we have sue. I remember that I discussed this word, but it's not bad to talk about it again. So as I told you, that is legal process that you take someone to the court. Of course, they did something and you take them to the court. So that is the meaning of sue. And you know, everyone can do this. So if you find someone did something illegal that actually maybe hurts you, or for example, it was threatening for you, so you can sue them to get or take someone to the court. And another one, so as I can see, there is no word here. Okay, so we talked about advisory organization. So we talked about this one. Yeah.
Can you explain me about the pornography?
Of course, you know that it's about sexual content. Pornography, sexual content. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, and any other word?
No.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
So, okay. Microsoft, Luton, and United Technologies have joined BSR this year, as well as Altria, a more obvious target for pressure group and litigation. As a parent company of both Kraft Food and Philip Morris, there are some names, okay? And industries that until now had avoided spotlight or finding attention is now focusing on them. Campaigners are beginning to show interest in working conditions in factories in the developing world that make equipment for computer and telecommunications companies. The financial sector has come under pressure over lending to controversial projects in the developing world. In June, a group of leading banks, including Citigroup and Barclays and ABN AMRO, promised to avoid giving loans for socially or environmentally questionable projects. Okay, so let's talk about this one. Let me find some words. Okay. Okay, the first word that I can see here that I think is not bad to know the meaning of it. So let me see. Okay. Controversial. So controversial means disagreement or discussion. So when something is maybe, this is controversial. So you can see here. Yeah.
Can you say it again?
Of course, is disagreement. Something that cause disagreement and discussion is controversial. So everything relating to or causing much discussions or disagreements or arguments. And we have another one that is
Please,
telecommunication. Yeah, of course.
can you explain me about the litigation?
Of course, actually, that is the process of maybe fighting or defending a case in court. So, for example, when I fight for a case or I defend a case in a court of
Mm,
law, that is,
mm,
yeah,
mm.
litigation. Okay. And the next one, telecommunication. So, you know that state of exchanging information, like, over significant distance, that is telecommunication. So it can voice, video. Okay, it
Yeah,
refers to voice and video, so you know this.
yeah,
And yeah, any other words? I can't see any other word, but if you can see, this one, industries that until now had avoided the spotlight. So what is spotlight? So this
mm,
one, you know that when something is in the center of attention,
yeah,
so we say that spotlight, okay?
yeah, yeah.
Well, let's keep going and wait, this one, I think, yeah, here, yeah, am I right? This one? No, 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 oil, okay, here. Okay, oil and mining groups have come under strong pressure this year from a coalition of investor activities and the UK government to make public the payments to developing countries in an effort to fight corruption. Some of the world's biggest footwear and clothing brands, including this one, you heard this one, we say Levi Stratus. You may heard Levi's. Levi
Yeah,
Stratus, Levi, yeah,
yeah,
of course.
yeah,
And yeah, of course, you know that. So yeah, this is
yeah,
the full name. So Nike and Reebok have meanwhile taken voluntary measure through the U.S. for Labor Association to increase the transparency of their supply chain. They published on the internet the first independent audits of their supplier factories, along with the steps taken to improve often terrible labor standards. Okay, let's talk about this one from the beginning. Just let me see. So, the first word that I can see here, and I find it a bit difficult maybe, is nothing. Everything is easy here. Okay, let me check. Can you see any word that so association. So this one,
groups,
of
group
course,
of,
yes.
yeah.
Of course, so you know this one. And okay, just, yeah,
Can you explain me about the corruption?
yeah, of course,
Corruption,
coalition,
corruption.
of course. Well, if I can, for example, give you a really simple, coalition is a form when
No,
two or more people, yeah.
it's not collision. It is corruption.
Corruption. Do you
Ah,
remember the last session I gave you the meaning? Dishonesty means corruption.
ah, ah.
Yeah, dishonesty. Yeah, okay. And we have another word that is coalition. So as you can see here, because I heard you ask me, but I was actually, uh,
Yeah, I
yeah,
didn't.
wrong. So
I
as I
didn't.
told,
I out.
let me show
Sorry.
you. Because let me show you. Yeah, here. A
Collision.
coalition of investors, so a group of people who work together
Ah.
temporary, not permanently.
Mm,
Coalition, so a group of people who work together.
yeah.
Okay, and labor standards, so you know that workers or labor working. Okay, companies usually take action when they face a real or potential threat um, to their reputation. Reputation means fame, the state of
Yeah.
being famous. As when Kraft announced in July it would cut fat and sugar in its food, limit protein sizes, and stop marketing schools. A lawsuit against Kraft over fatty acids was rapidly withdrawn after it said it would address the issue. A few companies are, however, taking a lead because they believe it will give them a competitive edge. Mr. Don says search for competitive advantage is one factor creating interest in corporate responsibility among companies in countries such as Russia, Poland, Turkey, and South Africa. Okay, so we have lawsuit and withdrawal. So first of all, the word lawsuit. Okay, so again, it's actually a case in court of law which concerns, I don't know, a dispute between people or organization. So case is organization, okay? And yeah, as I told you, it's another legal action, okay? For example, one organization and against another organization, one person against another person, so that is another actually legal action. And we have withdrawn, remove, withdrawn, that is remove. Okay. And we have this one, competitive edge. So here. So what is this one? That is actually a factor which gives a person or a company advantage over enemies, over competitors. So we have some competitors, some enemies in the market.
But in they have a lot of advantages.
Of course, very good.
Yeah.
Of course, very good. And that's it. Okay, and just this. In the UK, the trend is also reflected in the sharp rise in social and environmental reporting over the past 2 years. More than half the FTSE 250 or O, of course, they say companies now are produce annual reports according to directions. A study published this month by Salter Baxter and contacts two well-known UK consultancies. Okay, so this one, consultancy, so this one is plural, but the word is consultancy. That is company that gives, actually they have some experts who give advice, consultants. So this is another company or organization that give advice to other organization. Some sectors remain secretive, including hotels and leisure, and software and computer services. But they form a decreasing minority as investor interest, regulation, and peer pressure combine to force greater disclosure. When the first non-financial reports came out more than a decade ago, they focused on the environment. Now 100 of FTSE 250 cover environmental, social, and ethical issues. 30 of 50 largest European companies also produce reports. In the US, however, only 22 of the S&P top 50 reported. The study found. But yeah, of course, but how much can companies be expected to achieve on their own? What is the role of government? Can consumers have it all, demanding such high standard of companies while refusing to change their lifestyle? Okay, so we have here peer pressure. So what is the meaning? Pressure is pressure, so you know, but peer, when you are influenced by other people, other people, so your peers. Of course, in a certain specific way, we say peer pressure. And let me see. Okay, I can see just this one. If you can see any other one. And I told you the meaning of disclosure, so okay, when actually you make something known, that is a fact, of course. And justice. There is no other word that is new, or I don't know, I find.
Can you explain me about the S&P? domain S&P.
Oh, okay. S&P demands. Okay, so
Yeah.
that actually you know that. It's like sometimes we have some abbreviation of some words. Okay, just for example, it can be society and people, or here we have standard and purse. So it's like society, people, standard, S and P purse. So different words that you can see. Okay, in the US especially, it refers stand and purse. Okay, S&P. Normally S&P 500. So we have actually, it's like actually is a stock markets. So that is standard and purse. Let me write. It's not bad to
Yeah.
have.
Yes.
Okay, of course. Because you will see this one. Standard. Okay, and purse 500. You can see this one, but maybe you don't see 500 or only this. Okay.
Yeah.
S&P
Yes.
is a company. So as I told you, that is a company, and they provide actually like, leading index. They are actually data source. Yeah.
It's similar. It's similar with big four in any domain. For example, big four in
Oh,
consultant, big four
let me
in
say,
bank.
no. Okay, look, actually here we have, let me explain this one. Okay, look. However, only 22, okay, of the
Mm,
S&P top 50 reported the study found.
mm,
Okay, so S&P, as I told you, is a company, okay?
yeah. Yeah.
That's actually, yeah, the lead index provider. So,
Yeah.
and they are data source. Okay. So
Mm,
this, and it means that only 22 of them. Okay.
yeah.
So we have different 22. Yeah.
Mm. And it is top of
Of course. Yeah.
big git.
Of course, it's
Yeah.
500 that actually there
Yeah.
are. We have, because of this, I said 500,
Yeah.
because there are actually, this is, we can say that the largest companies
Yeah.
listed yeah, on stock exchange in the US, we have 500, and they are actually, we can say, top 500. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And just this. Any other word?
Yeah. No.
Okay, well, so let's answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so we discussed this one. Ah, really? So do you think companies are responsible for people being too fat
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
children? Yeah.
We have already this
We
this
did. I'm sorry. So I'm sorry. How about part B? I don't think. No, because we needed to read. So what ethical issues do these industries face? The food industry. So let's answer them one by one.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one, the food industries.
Yes. Yeah.
So what
Mhm.
issues, ethical issues do this industrial face according
Yeah.
to the
They
text?
don't uh that means they not they use some chemical not good for health in
Yeah, it's
that.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, of course. According to the text, they are blamed
Yeah.
actually for obesity.
Yeah.
And mobile phones operators,
Yeah. They find it hard to manage their content.
of
Uh,
course.
yeah.
And record companies.
I sometimes there's financial reports is not real.
Yeah, it's like, they sue people, but maybe this actually make dissatisfaction. Of
Yeah,
course, they do this the right thing because, when you are sharing something illegally, so they
yeah,
can do this, but I don't know,
uh,
people don't accept. And
yeah,
the next one, computer and telecommunications companies, telecommunications,
yeah. It's similar with a mobile phone operator, and
of,
yeah, they
of,
find hard to manage their content.
of course, and financial sectors. We have the
Mm,
next one.
yeah,
Yeah.
landing. Yeah, they
Yeah.
find.
Lending to controversial projects. So some project that actually cause some disagreements, maybe.
Yeah,
And the next one, oil and mining groups. Oil and mining groups.
under strong pressure
Of
with their form
course.
coali co
Coalition,
coalition,
of
coalition,
course.
yeah, of investor.
And activities and the UK government to make public their payments. So the problem
Yeah,
is here to make public their payments to developing countries in and
yeah,
for to fight corruption, but they don't want. I think there maybe the reason is they're doing something.
yeah.
Why they don't want? It's like, yeah. And the next one, footwear and clothing brands. The last one,
Mhm. Uh, increase, uh, increase transparent of supply
yeah,
chain.
transparency, of course. The quality, yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Well, and now, okay, let's see. We have the next one. Which of the following groups of companies have the largest percentage of the report covering environmental, social, and ethical issues? So let's see, A or B or C. So let's
Yeah.
see. S&P top 50. No.
FT, FE
Oh,
to 215,
yeah.
50.
Yeah, 50. Okay, yeah, of course. So let me check. Yeah, 50. You mean C, 50 largest companies, or this one? FTSEA or C? Let me check. A or C?
Ấy, ấy.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, financial reports more than a decade ago, they focused on the environment. Now, okay, of the this one
Mm,
cover
mm, mm, mm,
ethical issues. For 40 of 50 largest European companies also produce report. So this one we have 40 of 50. So
mm,
it's good actually. I think it's good. So 40 of the 50 largest European companies also produce reports. So
mm,
this one, I think, I don't know better. So maybe this one, because we have the largest percentage of reports. So of
mm,
course, FDSE, yes, I do agree, but we have this one and this one. And I think because this one is one organization, but this one, 50 largest companies. So I think
mm,
this one is maybe the largest percentage. And why are companies in countries such as Russia, Poland, and Turkey becoming more interested in corporate responsibility? So why? Let's see.
Because they believe it they will have a competitive edge.
Yeah, very good, of course. I do agree. So because, yeah, they believe, yeah, actually it will give them a competitive edge, like, advantages, so of course.
Yeah.
Well, and now, check, the meaning of the following words from the article, so use a good dictionary, not use teacher to help you, then use the word to complete, okay, the textbook. So let's, controversial as we discussed. So of course, the meaning of this, something that causes, yeah, disagreements, corruption, dishonesty, as you remember, peer pressure, regulation, threat. So let's choose. We know the meaning, so let's use the words to complete the text.
Can you explain me about the regulation?
Rules, regulation, rules, of
Regulation.
course. Regulation means rules.
Oh
Where is
yeah.
regulation? Ah, I can see here. Regulation means rule. Okay. Well, let's complete. The first one, companies have been taking the issue of corporate
Yeah. Complete.
yeah,
Corporate transparency.
no. This is a collocation actually that you can use. So how about responsibility? Like companies in the oil and mining sector have been taking the issue of corporate much more seriously recently. So it's like corporate
Uh,
responsibility, of
yeah,
course.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and in grammar, can we pick responsibility because it's in adverb? So
No,
in
it's
the end,
not
this
adverb.
yeah, adverb, yeah, because in the end we see the
Responsibility
seriously.
is noun, is noun. Responsibility is noun.
Yeah,
Yeah, responsible is adjective.
mm,
Responsibility is noun.
yeah, mm,
Okay, the next one.
yeah,
And just let me say, if you want to know, responsibly is adverb, not lity. This one is responsibility. So this is noun, this one is adverb.
mm,
Okay. And number two, let's see.
yeah.
They're very
to read,
proud
to read,
about
to read.
threat, of course, threats, of course, to the reputation due to rumors. Why British make everything more difficult? In American, we write rumor just with O. We write this way. Look, rumor. This is American. And British
Yeah.
write M-O-U-R. They make everything more difficult. So why? Rumors of, okay.
Can you explain me about the bribery?
Oh, of course. Do you remember that we discussed bribe last
Yeah, yeah.
session? Yeah, that is bribery, the act of giving or receiving money, or
Yeah.
other items, of course,
Mm.
with corrupt aim. So that can influence public. So that is bribery. Yeah.
Mm, corruption.
Of course, yes, corruption. Of course, it's right. Government.
Yeah. Uh, government regulation.
Very good. And from other country companies law, it's like,
And transparency.
no, peer pressure. A group, all the people, other
Uh,
companies, yeah, of course, put you on the pressure. So peer pressure from other companies has resulted in more.
yeah.
Here you can use transparency, has
Yeah.
resulted in more, yeah, transparency, clarity in the industry, and less secrecy.
Aviation. The
Of
aviation.
course.
Can you explain me?
Meaning of aviation?
Yes,
Of course.
aviation.
Okay, so let me explain this one. So, of course, it comes from a word that is bird, but here the activity, so for example, of flying aircraft is aviation,
Mm.
or designing or producing, so that everything that is related to the aviation industry, so everything related to the aircraft is
Mm.
aviation, okay?
Mm.
Everything related to plane, aircraft, everything that flies. So it can be designing, producing aircraft, or everything. Has also received attention. Senior managers have been criticized for.
Controversial.
Of
Controversial.
course, controversial, of course, regards. Okay, very good to seek your country. Okay. So that's it. Well, do you have any questions related to these words? Is it clear? Did you get the meaning of aviation?
Sorry?
Did you get the meaning of this word? Now it's
Yeah,
clear?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, very good. Well, and now, okay. So, a listening or discussion, which one? Of course, we have
Yeah,
discussed the question. So let's talk and then we will move on to the listening section. Okay,
yeah.
what
And
yeah,
yeah, what about the app topic? It
of course, we're
consequence.
going to talk. Of course, as I told you, first discuss, then we will move. So we can.
Yeah.
So What can consumers, shareholders, and employees do to try to change the behavior of business that are behaving unethically? So what can we do? For employees, actually, is a bit difficult to take an action, I think. What do you think?
Mm, and it is in the behavior of business must be changed by shareholder.
Yeah, I think so. Because they have the most maybe influence, yeah, of course, and impact. Yeah, I do agree on market because maybe consumers can do something because if, for example, we avoid buying, of course,
I think I think all of them can change, but the most
yeah,
important and most impact from
yeah,
their shareholder. And after
definitely.
that, my employee or consumer buys employee they can live and they can they don't want to work at a company that do a lot of things unethical
Of course,
and
unethical.
yeah and the consumer they will don't they will not buy anything from their
Of
company.
course.
Yeah,
Of course, I do agree with you. The last maybe employees and first shareholders, then consumers, and
yeah,
maybe employees. This one is a bit maybe tricky, a bit challenging in
yeah,
actually since they work for actually living. So maybe it can be a bit difficult to take an
yeah,
action. But yeah, I
yeah,
do agree. Well, okay, so your favorite
yeah.
section, let's listen. Okay, so Andy Hamilton works for the Cooperative Bank in Manchester, England. The bank is well known for its policy of ethical investment. Listen to the first part of the interview and answer this question. How was the bank's ethical policy developed? How does the bank check its policy is in touch with customers' views? And what examples does Andy give of a business the bank will not invest in? And what kind of businesses does the bank like? Okay, let's listen. 11 points. Just let me check if it's right. One moment.
Extract 5.
Oh, it's not.
10.4.
10.4. No. Okay.
11.6.
Oh, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Sorry, because they are not in order. I need to check one by one.
Unit 11.
Sorry.
Ethics. 11.1. What is the bank's ethical policy?
Our ethical policy is a clear set of promises to our customers about how we will and won't invest their money. It's important, though, to understand that the promises we make are based on the views of the customers. Firstly, it's worth explaining the development of the policy, which was introduced in 1992 after consultation with our customers. We now consult them regularly to ensure that the investment guidelines we follow continue to reflect their views. We implement the policy by publishing the types of business activities that are of such concern to our customers. They don't want the bank to provide banking services to these types of business. For example, we will not invest in a business involved in the manufacture or transfer of armaments to oppressive regimes. The policy also contains a number of positive statements that commit the bank to do business with customers involved in social or environmentally beneficial activities, such as renewable energy and energy efficiency. To show customers we are keeping our promises, our selection procedure is independently audited. The results are published in our annual report.
Well, yeah, when you look, I knew this, like, when you look this way, like,
Yeah.
okay, so let's listen again. Do you want to listen again? Or it was
Yes.
difficult? Of course, yes, it's normal. So,
Unit 11. Ethics. 11.1. What is the bank's ethical policy?
Our ethical policy is a clear set of promises to our customers about how we will and won't invest their money.
So the first one, let's answer first this one. How was the bank's ethical policy? So how?
They clear their promise.
Promise, of course, a clear set of promises about what they will and will not invest in. So we will invest in this, we will not invest in that. Okay, yes. Let's keep going.
It's important, though, to understand that the promises we make are based on the views of the customers. Firstly, it's worth explaining the development of the policy, which was introduced in 1992 after consultation with our customers. We now consult them regularly to ensure that the investment guidelines we follow continue to reflect their views.
So what do they do? So how do they check its policy?
They publish their policy.
It's like, by consulting actually customers regularly. So it's like, they try to be in touch with customers and, by consulting their, actually maybe their opinion and for maybe their ideas regularly. So.
Yeah.
We implement the policy by publishing the types of business activities that are of such concern to our customers. They don't want the bank to provide banking services to these types of business. For example, we will not invest in a business involved in the manufacture or transfer of armaments to oppressive regimes.
So what examples? For example, we don't invest in.
Yeah, I heard I heard a words, but I'm not. I think it's my new words for me.
Of course, you mean
I didn't
oppressive
catch up.
regime. Yeah, you heard oppressive regime. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Laws, customs, so actually everything so that is related to regime. So it's like the oppressive. So first of all, government or regime, but you heard regime now. Okay, so let me write.
Yeah.
Okay, because you heard this word and you don't know the meaning of this. Okay. Okay. Passive.
Yeah.
Regime. You heard this one. Okay. Well, so what is the meaning of this phrase? Actually, countries, it refers to countries where there are some laws, customs, or any system maybe that's, I don't know, like oppress a group of people, society. Maybe they treat people unfair. So some countries, okay, treating people in a cruel, unkind, unfair way in some countries. Maybe they don't give the people freedom. So this is a really good example. Rights or other, everything that is right, actually people's right, they don't give. So this is the meaning of oppressive regime. So regimes or government, here regime means government. Government in some countries where don't give their people the rights. This can be freedom. They treat people, I don't know, North Korea. Yeah, this country is a good example, oppressive regime. Okay.
Yeah.
So they don't work with this type of government, either these countries or these governments. Okay. Well, yeah, you're right. And the next one, so for making, transporting, or anything, selling anything to oppressive regimes. So this is the answer. Yeah. Okay. The answer is clear. So did you get the meaning of this phrase?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm clear.
Wow. And the next one, let's keep going.
The policy also contains a number of positive statements that commit the bank to do business with customers involved in social or environmentally beneficial activities, such as renewable energy and energy efficiency. To show customers we are keeping our promises.
So what's they like?
Renewable and energy. energy.
Of course, it's like activities that are good for environment, like, for example, renewable energy. So renewable energy, of course, this one is a really good example.
Yeah.
Wow. And
Our selection procedure is independently audited. The results are published in our annual report.
okay, wow. Now let's keep going with the next one. That is next part of the interview and complete these extracts. Okay, let's just check the text first because, okay. Well, let's keep going. 11.3.
Recording 11.2. Is it really the job of business to provide a lead in ethical...
I left one. Listen to the second part. Okay, so true or false. I'm sorry, I left this one. So let's do this one. 11.2 first. Okay, let me check.
Recording 11.2.
Yeah, it's okay now.
Is it really the job of business to provide a lead in ethical standards?
Businesses don't operate in isolation. Businesses are part of the wider community through their staff and their suppliers, for example. Business activities will inevitably lead to a series of ecological and social effects. The nature of some industries has huge and very obvious effects on the environment and society, whilst the effect of others, such as the financial services industry, is not always so apparent. The bank chose to base its policy on the concerns of its customers because it is their money that is being used, and they should have a say in how it is used. We also campaign for change on issues that our customers feel strongly about. One of our first campaigns called for a ban on the use of landmines, now banned in 142 countries. Since then, we've campaigned on other issues from third world debt, human rights, fair trade, and youth poverty. Customers can get as involved as they want, and because the bank represents them, it means their view is more likely to be heard.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So,
One more time again.
of course, yes,
Yeah.
of course.
And I think we can check
One by one.
Yeah.
Of course, yes, of course.
Recording 11.2. Is it really the job of business to provide a lead in ethical standards?
Businesses don't operate in isolation. Businesses are part of the wider community through their staff and their suppliers, for example. Business activities will inevitably lead to a series of ecological and social effects. The nature of some industries has huge and very obvious effects on the environment and society.
While business activity does not necessarily certainly affect, of course, the nature of some industries has huge and very obvious effects on environment and society. So this one is
false.
False, of course. Well,
the effect of others, such as the financial services industry, is not always so apparent.
so about the second one, it's easy to see how the financial services sector can affect society.
True.
Sure.
True.
The effect, so because he said the effect of others such as financial services industry is not always so apparent. So it's not really clear. So it's not easy to see.
Yeah. Can you repeat the that?
Of course, this part, let's listen. Just this.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, of course, listen.
Some industries has huge and very obvious effects on the environment and society, whilst the effect of others, such as the financial services industry, is not always so apparent.
So whilst,
okay,
whilst the other, such as this one, is not so apparent, clear, so this one, okay. And
the bank chose to base its policy on the concerns of its customers because it is their money that is being used, and they should have a say in how it is used.
So the first one, so let's see, the bank has been actively involved in the following. So
the money
Okay,
That
so the first,
save and saving and use.
okay, so the first one, true or false, landmine removal. So let's listen because I'm not sure about this. I
False.
didn't. It's false.
Yeah, false.
Yeah, false. And just listen to the rest of it. Let's complete this one.
We also
My
campaign.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
is true.
The second one
If
is true. C is true, you said, or B is true? I could.
Is B and C true?
Of course. So, okay. Well, okay, human right and fair trade. Very good. Well, let's listen to the rest of it.
For change on issues that our customers feel strongly about. One of our first campaigns called for a ban on the use of landmines, now banned in 142 countries. Since then, we've campaigned on other issues from third world debt, human rights, fair trade, and youth poverty. Customers can get as involved as they want, and because the bank represents them, it means their view is more likely to be heard.
Very good. Okay, and that's it. Yes. Okay, well, keep going. So any questions? Just, landmine, you know the meaning of this one? Landmine? So, mine. Mine place just below the surface. So it's like land mine. It's a kind of mine, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so let's keep going with this one. Complete. This one, maybe it's a bit difficult. Okay, let me play the next one.
Recording 11.3. Can successful businesses always behave ethically?
We believe they can. In fact, we believe that in the years to come, the only truly successful businesses will be those that achieve a lasting balance between their own interests and those of society.
Will be those that achieve a,
lasting balance.
of course, lasting balance between, yeah, very good.
And the natural world. Therefore, businesses cannot just have a self-interest. They must play a social role. Our position has enabled us to build trust, develop our brand, and have a positive impact on the bank's bottom line.
Okay, so just the first one. So this one, society and
Role. And
natural world. Yeah. So this and this, like environment, the natural world. Our position has enabled us to what?
Yeah. Can.
Of course, let me give you to build trust, not try to hear. Okay, listen again. Listen.
Between their own interests and those of society and the natural world.
So first,
therefore, businesses cannot just have a self-interest. They must play a social role. Our position has enabled us to build trust, develop our brand, and have a positive impact on the bank's bottom line.
And have a
very
impact. Excellent. Okay. And the last one.
On the issue of trust, research shows that trust in business has been declining for a number of years, and the general public feel that businesses don't take them seriously. Higher trust creates higher loyalty.
Higher trust creates
higher loyalty.
Very good.
First, because customers trust you, they are less likely to look elsewhere in the first place.
They are less likely to
I'm
look.
hiding.
Yeah, it's okay. Elsewhere. Now listen to hear this word. To look elsewhere because they're loyal. Listen.
Yeah.
Trust creates higher loyalty. First, because customers trust you, they are less likely to look elsewhere in the first place. Second, if you do make a mistake, they are more likely to forgive you.
They're more likely to, forgive you. Very good. Okay, and that's it. Okay, finish. Yes. Wow. Yeah, this one was good. Okay, so any words, any phrases that you find difficult or no?
all of them difficult, but yeah,
The honesty is really good. Yeah, but
yeah,
you can. Actually, the most important part is that you can. So of
yeah,
course difficult, but when you can, this one is really good. If it was easy and you couldn't, maybe no, but yeah, good. So we can see the progress, and that's really good.
yeah,
Well, so the beginning of the week, and I wish the best week, fruitful week, great week.
yeah,
So have a great day and see you at the next session.
yeah. Thank you, and see you
You're
on
welcome.
next session.
Of course. Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye.
Goodbye.